Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. What would it be like to wake up every morning excited for the day ahead? Not because it's the weekend, not because a vacation is coming up, but because the life you've built is so fulfilling that you don't feel the need to escape it. Too many people spend their days counting down to Friday, waiting for the next holiday, longing for the weekend. But what if instead of designing a life you constantly need a break from, you designed one so rich, so rewarding, so aligned with your purpose that every day felt like a gift? That's not just a dream, it's a choice. You see, life is not something that happens to us. Life is something we create. And if you're not designing your life intentionally, I can promise you this: someone else is designing it for you. Your employer, society, even your own habits are shaping your days. So the question is, are you in control of that design, or are you just reacting to whatever comes your way? The first step is to get clear on what you really want. Not just what pays the bills, but what sets your soul on fire. What kind of work makes you feel alive? What kind of people lift you up? What kind of environment makes you feel inspired? That's the blueprint for your life. The second step is to take responsibility. No one is coming to hand you your ideal life. No one will show up and say, here's a perfect schedule, a meaningful career, and deep relationships. You have to build it, brick by brick, decision by decision, habit by habit. And let's be honest, it won't happen overnight, but you can start today. You can start by deciding to no longer settle for a life you constantly need to escape from. Because life should not be something you endure just so you can get to the next vacation. It should be something you love living every single day. So design your life, build it with purpose, shape it with discipline, and one day you'll wake up and realize you no longer need a vacation because you've created a life you never want to leave. Most people go through life without ever stopping to ask themselves a simple but powerful question: what do I truly want? Not what society expects, not what my family prefers, not what seems practical or safe, but what truly fulfills me. It's a question that demands honesty. It requires you to strip away the noise, the pressures, the distractions, and get down to the core of who you are and what makes you come alive. Because if you don't define it, life has a way of filling in the blanks for you. And more often than not, it fills them with routine, obligation, and a path that leads to frustration instead of fulfillment. Clarity is the starting point of all success. You can't hit a target you haven't set. You can't build a dream if you've never taken the time to visualize it. And if you don't take charge of your direction, you'll find yourself walking in circles, wondering why life feels so unfulfilling. So take the time, sit with yourself, ask the hard questions. What excites you? What work feels meaningful? What lifestyle aligns with your values? What kind of people do you want around you? What legacy do you want to leave behind? These aren't just idle thoughts. They're the foundation of your future. Once you get clear, something amazing happens. Decisions become easier. Distractions fade away. Opportunities that once seemed random start making sense. And the best part? You no longer feel the need to escape your life, because every step you take is leading you towards something that genuinely fulfills you. So don't settle for what's convenient. Don't accept a life designed by default. Define what you truly want. Because once you do, everything else will start falling into place. There comes a moment in life when you have to look in the mirror and realize that where you are today is a result of the choices you've made. Not the government, not the economy, not your upbringing, you. That's a tough truth for some, but it's also the most liberating realization you can ever have. Because if you created your current situation, that means you have the power to change it. Too many people spend their days blaming circumstances. They blame their boss, their parents, their past, their environment. But here's the thing. Blame might make you feel better for a moment, but it won't change your situation. Complaints don't pay the bills. Excuses don't build a future. Only responsibility does. The moment you take full responsibility, everything shifts. You stop waiting for luck. You stop hoping someone else will come and fix things for you. You stop wishing for an easier path and start building the strength to walk the one in front of you. You start making decisions not based on where you are, but on where you want to be. And make no mistake, this isn't about guilt. It's not about beating yourself up for past mistakes. It's about owning your power. If you accept responsibility for your failures, you also get to take full credit for your successes. If you take ownership of your bad habits, you can replace them with better ones. If you recognize that you've been stuck in a cycle of procrastination, you can break out of it. Most people never take this step. They wait for permission. They wait for perfect conditions. They wait for someone to rescue them. But winners don't wait. They decide. They take the reins of their life and say, no more excuses. No more waiting. My future is up to me. So take full responsibility, not just for where you are, but for where you're going. Because the moment you do, you stop being a victim of your circumstances and start becoming the architect of your destiny. Success isn't built in a day. It's built in the quiet, consistent actions you take every single day. The small disciplines, the little choices, the habits that seem insignificant in the moment, but over time determine the course of your entire life. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. If your daily habits don't align with the future you want, then no amount of motivation will get you there. Wishing for a better life while keeping the same habits is like expecting a new destination while driving in the wrong direction. Look at the habits you follow right now. Are they moving you forward or holding you back? Are they leading you toward the life you want, or are they keeping you stuck where you are? The truth is, your life today is the sum of the habits you've built over the years. And if you want a different future, you have to start building different habits. But here's the secret. Change doesn't happen overnight. You don't need to make drastic transformations all at once. You just need to make small, consistent improvements. A little more discipline in your schedule, a little more effort in your work, a little more commitment to your health, your relationships, your personal growth. These small changes, done daily, create momentum. And that's the key, momentum. Once you start stacking good habits, they begin working for you instead of against you. They turn into a rhythm, an automatic way of living that makes success inevitable. You don't have to think about it anymore. You just wake up and do what needs to be done. So build the habits that match the vision you have for your life. If you want success, develop the habits of successful people. If you want health, adopt the habits of a healthy person. If you want financial freedom, start practicing financial discipline. Because at the end of the day, you don't get what you want, you get what you consistently do. Work takes up a huge portion of your life. For most people, it's where they spend the majority of their waking hours. So the question is, are you just working to pay the bills? Or are you doing something that gives you a sense of purpose, meaning, and fulfillment? Too many people wake up dreading the day ahead. They drag themselves out of bed, go to a job they don't enjoy, watch the clock until quitting time, then repeat the cycle the next day. And the worst part? They think that's just the way life is, but it doesn't have to be. Work should be more than just a paycheck. It should be something that challenges you, excites you, and allows you to contribute in a meaningful way. Now, does that mean you should quit your job tomorrow and chase a dream with no plan? Of course not. But it does mean you should start asking yourself some important questions. What kind of work makes you feel alive? What skills do you enjoy using? What impact do you want to have? What would make you proud to look back on years from now? Because here's the truth. When you do work that fulfills you, you don't live for the weekends. You don't count down to retirement. You wake up with a sense of purpose because your work isn't just something you have to do. It's something you get to do. And here's another secret. Fulfillment doesn't come from what you do as much as it comes from how you do it. You can find meaning in almost any job if you bring the right mindset, the right level of excellence, and the right desire to grow. Some of the most successful people in history didn't start with glamorous careers. They started where they were and poured their energy into it until it became something extraordinary. So if you're not fulfilled in your work right now, start taking steps to change that. Maybe it means developing new skills. Maybe it means shifting your mindset and finding purpose in your current role. Or maybe it means making a bold move towards something better. Whatever it is, don't settle. Life is too short to spend it doing work that drains you. Find something that fuels you. Because when your work aligns with who you are, every day feels like progress instead of just another obligation. The people around you are shaping your life every single day, whether you realize it or not. Your environment has a powerful influence on your mindset, your habits, and ultimately your success. If you're surrounded by people who are negative, unmotivated, or content with mediocrity, it's only a matter of time before that thinking starts rubbing off on you. But if you're surrounded by people who challenge you, inspire you, and push you to be better, your entire perspective shifts. You start thinking bigger, you start expecting more from yourself, you start realizing what's possible because you're constantly exposed to people who refuse to settle. Take a look at the 5 people you spend the most time with. Are they lifting you up or pulling you down? Are they encouraging your growth or keeping you comfortable? The truth is, you can't afford to keep relationships that keep you stuck. Energy is contagious, whether it's positive or negative. And if you want to build a life of success and fulfillment, you have to be intentional about who you let into your world. Now, this doesn't mean cutting people off without reason. It doesn't mean looking down on anyone, but it does mean making a conscious decision about where you invest your time and energy. You need people in your life who believe in you, who see your potential, who won't let you settle for less than you're capable of. And here's another key. Don't just look for great people to be around. Be the kind of person others want to be around. Excellence attracts excellence. Growth-minded people seek out others who are also striving to improve. If you want to be surrounded by winners, make sure you're doing the work to become one yourself. Because in the end, you won't rise much higher than the standards of the people you associate with. So choose wisely. Build relationships that fuel your vision. Surround yourself with those who challenge you, support you, and inspire you to be the best version of yourself. Because when you do, success isn't just possible, it's inevitable. There's a difference between making a living and creating a life. Too many people spend all their time chasing a paycheck, working long hours, and sacrificing their best years just to make ends meet. They wake up, go to work, come home exhausted, and do it all over again, day after day, year after year. And then one day they look back and wonder, was this all there was? Making a living is important. You need to provide for yourself and your family. You need to pay the bills, keep a roof over your head, and make sure there's food on the table. But if that's all you focus on, you'll miss out on something far more valuable, life itself. A real life isn't just about working hard, it's about living well. It's about having the time and freedom to enjoy the fruits of your labor. It's about meaningful relationships, personal growth, and experiences that bring you joy. It's about waking up each day excited, not just to earn, but to live. If all you do is work, but you never have time to enjoy your success, what's the point? If you climb the corporate ladder, but lose your health, your happiness, or your family along the way, was it really worth it? Success isn't just measured by the size of your bank account. It's measured by the quality of your days. That's why you have to design your life with intention. Don't just work harder, work smarter. Create multiple streams of income so your time isn't tied completely to your earnings. Set boundaries so your work doesn't consume every hour of your day. Prioritize the things that truly matter, your health, your relationships, your passions, because these are the things that bring real fulfillment. And remember, you don't have to wait until retirement to start living. Too many people sacrifice their best years telling themselves they'll enjoy life someday, but someday is never guaranteed. Life is happening now. So don't just focus on making a living, focus on building a life that's worth living. Time is the one resource you can never get back. You can lose money and earn it again. You can lose opportunities and create new ones. But once a day is gone, it's gone forever. And the question is, are you in control of your time, or is your time controlling you? Most people don't manage their time, they let their time manage them. They wake up, check their phone, get pulled into distractions, react to whatever comes their way, and by the end of the day, they wonder where all the time went. They confuse being busy with being productive. They fill their schedule with things that don't really move them forward, and then they complain that they don't have enough time for the things that truly matter. But here's the truth. You have the same 24 hours as everyone else. The most successful people in the world don't have more time than you. They just use it differently. They prioritize. They eliminate distractions. They make sure their schedule reflects their goals, not someone else's demands. Controlling your time starts with taking a hard look at how you're spending it. How much of your day is spent on things that actually matter? How much is wasted on meaningless distractions, unproductive meetings, or habits that don't serve you? Because if you don't take control, someone else will. Your inbox, social media, other people's requests. These things will eat up your time if you let them. That's why you need a plan. Start each day knowing exactly what your priorities are. Block out time for the things that matter most. Your work, your health, your relationships, your personal growth. Learn to say no to things that don't align with your goals. Set boundaries so that your time isn't constantly being stolen by distractions and obligations that don't serve you. Because at the end of the day, time is life. How you spend your time is how you spend your life. And if you don't take control of it now, you'll look back years from now wondering where it all went. So decide today own your time, or let it own you. Your life will only grow to the level that you grow. If you want more success, more opportunities, more fulfillment, you have to become more. And that means making a decision to invest in your growth every single day. Most people stop growing the moment they leave school. They think education ends when they graduate, and from that point on, they just get by. They settle into routines, stay within their comfort zones, and wonder why nothing in their life changes. But real growth, the kind that leads to success, never stops. You have to be intentional about expanding your mind, developing new skills, and challenging yourself to reach new levels. Read books. Listen to great thinkers. Learn from people who have done what you want to do. Attend seminars. Surround yourself with those who push you forward. Because the truth is, you can't outperform your own personal development. Think about it this way. If you put a powerful engine inside an old, broken down car, it won't go far. The same is true for your life. If you want to experience more success, you need to build the internal structure to handle. Success means nothing if you don't have the energy to enjoy it. What good is wealth if you're too exhausted, too stressed, or too sick to live your life fully? What good is achievement if it comes at the cost of your well-being? Your health is the foundation for everything else. And if you don't take care of it, nothing else will matter in the long run. Too many people treat their health like an afterthought. They push through exhaustion, skip meals, neglect exercise, and live on stress and caffeine, telling themselves they'll focus on their health later. But later has a way of turning into never, and by the time the consequences catch up, it's often too late to undo the damage. Your body is the vehicle that carries you through life, and how well you maintain it determines how far you can go. If you feed it junk, if you never move it, if you let stress wear it down day after day, it will eventually break down. But if you take care of it, fuel it with the right foods, keep it strong, give it rest, you'll have the energy, clarity, and stamina to build the life you want. And it's not just physical health. Mental and emotional well-being matter just as much. You can't perform at your best if you're constantly overwhelmed, burnt out, or filled with negativity. That's why you have to guard your mind just as much as you guard your body. Surround yourself with positive influences. Manage stress before it manages you. Take time to rest and recharge, because a well-rested mind is a productive mind. The best investment you'll ever make isn't in the stock market, a business, or real estate. It's in you. Prioritize your health. Protect your energy. Take care of yourself now so you can live, work, and succeed at the highest level. Not just for a season, but for a lifetime. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces you can bring into your life. It shifts your perspective, changes your attitude, and opens the door to more abundance. Because here's the truth. If you're not grateful for what you have now, you won't be grateful for more when it comes. Too many people live in a constant state of waiting. They tell themselves, I'll be happy when I get that promotion. I'll be grateful when I have more money. I'll appreciate life when things finally go my way. But that's not how it works. If you can't appreciate what you have now, you won't appreciate more when you get it. Instead, you'll always be chasing the next thing, thinking that happiness is just around the corner, only to find that the corner keeps moving. Gratitude isn't about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to focus on what's good right now, even while working towards something better. It's about recognizing the progress you've made, the lessons you've learned, the opportunities you have today that you once only dreamed about. And here's the secret. When you live with gratitude, everything in your life improves. Your mindset shifts. You stop seeing problems as obstacles and start seeing them as opportunities to grow. You attract more good things into your life because you're not operating from a place of lack, but from a place of abundance. And people are drawn to that. They want to be around someone who appreciates life, who brings energy, who sees the best in situations. So start practicing gratitude daily. Make it a habit. Take a moment each day to appreciate what you have, the people in your life, the opportunities you've been given, the lessons you've learned along the way. Because when you live with gratitude, you don't just wait for success to bring you happiness, you create happiness right where you are. Gratitude is one of the simplest yet most powerful habits you can develop. It changes the way you see the world, shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present, and opens the door for more abundance in your life. Because here's the truth. If you're always focused on what you don't have, you'll never appreciate what you do have. And if you can't appreciate what you have now, why should life give you more? Too many people live in a state of waiting for the perfect job, the big break, the right opportunity. They tell themselves, I'll be happy when I make more money. I'll be grateful when I have more success. I'll appreciate life when everything falls into place. But that kind of thinking is a trap. If you can't find reasons to be grateful now, you won't find them later. Because no matter how much you achieve, there will always be another goal, another challenge, another level to reach. Gratitude isn't about ignoring difficulties or pretending life is perfect. It's about making a conscious choice to focus on what's good, even when things aren't ideal. It's about recognizing that even in tough times, there are lessons, opportunities, and blessings all around you. When you start looking for them, you realize just how much you already have. And here's the beautiful thing. When you live with gratitude, you attract more to be grateful for. Your perspective changes. Instead of seeing problems as burdens, you see them as stepping stones. Instead of feeling stuck, you recognize how far you've already come. Instead of feeling like life is happening to you, you start seeing how life is happening for you. But gratitude isn't just a feeling, it's a practice. Make it a daily habit. Take time every day to reflect on the things you appreciate, the people in your life, the opportunities you've been given, the simple joys that often go unnoticed. Speak your gratitude, write it down, express it to others. Because the more you focus on what's good, the more good you'll invite into your life. So don't wait for something extraordinary to happen before you start being grateful. Choose to be grateful now. Because when you do, you won't just change your attitude, you'll change your entire life.